I'm a bit torn. You know how I feel, Max. You know how religiously I've harped on the situation involving black coaches. How, once again, black coaches are being passed up. But I would like to remind everybody, Doc Rivers still has a coaching job. He's coaching in Philly now. Ty Lue is now a head coach. Thank God Alvin Gentry landed as a lead assistant in Sacramento under Luke Walton, because I thought it was kind of shady how he was let go in New Orleans, particularly considering the games missed by players, specifically Zion Williamson and things of that nature. And you had people reaching out to me yesterday, said, Stephen A., you said it was white privilege when Steve Nash got the job in Brooklyn. What about Stan Van Gundy? And I said, hold your horses. Now you're going too damn far. Here's the reason why. No disrespect to Steve Nash whatsoever. I'm a fan of his as a person and just overall, and when he was a player. My only issue with Steve Nash, which is why I called him weeks ago to explain, Max, was to let him know it's not directed at you. I've been harping on this point for a quarter century, all my years covering the NBA. You know, no black man is going to get a head coaching job when they've never coached on any level. And then all of a sudden you land a job of that magnitude, coaching Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
Your issue has been white privilege, which you've defined as without the resume, you get to skip steps.
That's right. And not only that, to that step. Like, for example, there's black coaches that never coached but got head coaching jobs. But they had rebuilding situations or reclamation projects. They didn't inherit a championship caliber squad like they have in Brooklyn with Durant and Kyrie, assuming that they're healthy. Let me get to my point about Stan Van Gundy. That's not applicable here. Stan Van Gundy was an assistant for years. Stan Van Gundy was a head coach in 3 locations. He did not fail in Miami. He did take them to an Eastern Conference Finals when they lost to Detroit. And then obviously the next year, 21 games in, Pat Riley had to get rid of him because he felt like, you know what, his temperament and whatever wasn't ideal for Shaq, D-Wade, a young D-Wade with Alonzo and those boys. And then Pat Riley went on and won the championship that year when Dwayne Wade averaged 39 points the last 4 games of that series against the Dallas Mavericks. Then Stan Van Gundy goes to Orlando. Stan Van Gundy goes to the playoffs. Stan Van Gundy goes to the NBA Finals with Dwight Howard anchoring that defensive front line. Stan Van Gundy has proven he can coach. He has proven he is a good dude with the right conscience as well. I'm a fan of Stan Van Gundy's as a person. I wish him nothing but the best. What I will say—
Monster on Twitter, too.
That's right. What I will say about Stan Van Gundy is this. He never deserved to be the president of basketball operations for the Detroit Pistons. Now, if the Pelicans had brought him on and given him complete control of basketball operations, I would have said this is nonsense, because based off of what happened in Detroit, no, you don't deserve that. But David Griffin is running the Pelicans. Stan Van Gundy deserves to be a head coach in this league. Would I have liked to see another black man get an opportunity because of the paucity of African Americans as head coaches in the NBA? Sure. But I can't look at Stan Van Gundy, who's a damn good coach, who's knowledgeable about the sport, who's contributed greatly to the NBA over the years, and I can't say enough about what he has contributed to the communities, disenfranchised communities across America, with his willingness to address certain subjects and bring attention to all of these things. I can't sit here with a straight face and complain about Stan Van Gundy. He has a resume, and he's conscientious enough to care about the things these players care about. If I'm going to blame anybody for white privilege in the NBA, I got news for you. I'm blaming the players, marquee dudes who never say a damn word about the paucity of African-American coaches. I'm certainly not going to blame Stan Van Gundy for taking this job, and I can't knock David Griffin for offering it to him.
First of all, Stan Van Gundy is an ally to the righteous.
Yes, he is.
And an excellent coach. And I love this hire for the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'll tell you why. First, his failure in Detroit was because he was wearing too many hats.
Yes.
It's the same way with Doc with the Clippers. They took GM responsibility away from Doc, and then they had a chance to win a championship, at least a chance, once he was just coaching. I have a feeling the same thing will be with Stan Van Gundy. I want to tell you why I think it's perfect. When you draft in a market like New Orleans, a guy like Zion Williamson, you're on the clock. You have 6 years to win a championship. Because let me tell you what's going to happen heading into year 7 after 6 years. The agent is going to come to you more than likely and say, we're going to sign with the Lakers or the Heat or the Warriors or fill in the blank. Sexy team in great market that they want to go to, right? Big market with other opportunities, usually warm weather. That's what's going to happen. So you have 6 years. You're on the clock. What did he do when he took the Orlando job? Dwight Howard, a limited offensive player, but a great defender, had already been there for 3 years, Stephen A., right? He got drafted in 04, and I want to say Van Gundy got there in 07. So you only got a couple more years with Dwight Howard to make a run at a championship. What did he do? Surrounded him with shooters, turned Dwight Howard into a real good passer who could find the open guy, and created an offense that optimized whatever they had and got to a finals in 2009. So it was the 8-9 season, right? Right in time before Dwight Howard then got his way out of town. I mean, he's shown you what he can do. Not that Zion Williamson is Dwight Howard and that he'll follow the same exact formula, but he was willing to think outside the box at the time. It wasn't exactly revolutionary, but it pushed the boundaries of the way the game was played. Like extreme, 4 shooters around that guy in the middle. So he's not afraid to think outside the box, look forward and think of creative solutions, and more than that, has a track record of getting the #1 overall pick in a small market to make a legitimate finals run. You know what the difference between the Pelicans and the Magic are? These Pelicans and those Magic teams, this team has more talent. They have not only assets they can bring in the right pieces for, they may already have a lot of the right pieces. Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, you'll figure out who works, who doesn't. You'll trade away, bring in someone, Drew Holiday. You have a veteran who can really play, a shooter like Redick. He has much more talent on this team than he had in Orlando, and he has more time to get it done because Zion's only in his 2nd season. I love this hire for the Pelicans.
Well, let me say this. Van Gundy's going to have to be careful because we might love him because he's outspoken, highly intelligent, very, very conscientious. All of those things are true. But he's also incredibly intense. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.